All right, I am recording now. All right, this is 5.1, day 2. We've already done 5.1, day 1. And this one is writing the equation of a line. Nope, it's notes. Given 2 points. Today is 2-3. Now, I'm going to make these notes look exactly like the previous notes, where we have an example on one side, we have a how-to over here. Did you like how we did it last time with the steps? We're not always going to do this with notes from here on out, but it is a nice technique for what we're currently doing. All right, so the example that I want you to write down is write the equation of a line that goes through 5, -3, and 2, 5. I'm definitely going to give prizes for good ideas today. So, I don't have any animals out, do I?
What do you mean good ideas?
As in, like, we're going to make a list of how to do this. And if you guys can help me come up with how to do this, then you will get points. Feels like a dinosaur day, doesn't it?
Yeah. How much stuff we were down?
Why is it a thing? Well, sir, what?
Tigers up and
I
no.
know.
If you guys are here, I know.
I was there. I just don't get why you guys call it a tiger.
Because we're now calling the tiger a dinosaur.
Yeah.
So we're calling the dinosaurs a tiger.
Because in 9th grade, when someone makes a joke, we keep that joke forever.
Yeah.
Really? My dad put dinosaurs
Is there a
in
goose?
school. You're like, oh my gosh, it's a tiger.
Tiger.
Oh yeah,
Here we
the
go.
dinosaurs
Here we
don't
go.
come into school.
Oh, here we go.
Okay,
It's all in the jam, right?
so
Dinosaur.
here we go. Hey guys, I'm recording now. We need to get moving, okay? All right, so do you remember before we had a slope and a point? Okay, but now we don't have a slope and a point. We know how to do it if we only had a slope and a point. But instead now we have 2 points. Anybody have an idea of how we can make this work? Flip your mask. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nobody over here? 5. All right, we're starting with 5.
Me?
Yep, Riley, what do you think?
Can't you do like the y1 minus y2?
That is exactly right. Riley, come get a prize. All right, the first thing we're doing is you have to find the slope using y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Okay, so over here, I'm going to do step 1 right here. I'm going to label this one x1, y1, x2, y2. So that would be -3 minus 5 over 5 minus 2. Remember, if you have a problem with subtraction signs when it comes to negative, you can always make it plus a negative. What's a -3 and a -5? -8 divided by 5 minus 2, which is 3. All right, so I'm going to write down this is my slope. This is not the answer to my problem, but this is an important step around the way. -8/3. And if you're like, ick, -8/3 is gross, you're right. It is a gross fraction, but it's also possible. Okay, so those things will happen in your homework. Okay, so we're going to find the slope. Now we have a slope. Who's got an idea now? What should we do now?
We just do the same thing like the, wait, you didn't call on me.
I didn't, but go ahead.
We just do the same thing like the last problem, or the last.
I totally agree with you because now we have a slope, right? But which point do we use, Colin? Because before we had like a slope and a point. Which one do we use?
The y.
The y? Well, each one of them has a y. We've got the point 5, -3, and 2, 5.
We use the first one. Or does it matter?
It doesn't matter at all, Colin. You're right. Okay, so it doesn't matter. So now we're going to use the exact same directions we did before. Can somebody tell me what the first direction is? What do you do first? Tyler?
No, I'm just.
You're just stretching. You're like, how could you possibly think that this was me raising my hand? Emily.
You put the slope in for M.
Put the slope in for M. Colin, go get a prize. Emily, if you can keep going with all the instructions, I'll give you a prize too.
Then you're gonna put the X and Y in for X and Y.
Okay, so put an XY point in for X and Y. I'm going to write here, it doesn't matter which you choose. Mathematicians are lazy. Okay? A good mathematician is lazy. That means we purposely choose to do the easier thing. So, you've got a choice. Do you want to use 5, -3 or 2, 5? 2, 5 doesn't have a negative in it. I like that too, especially if there was one that had a 1 or a 0. I would also pick that one. Does it matter really which one you pick? No, they will both give you the exact same answer. So if you end up picking one that is slightly more difficult than another one, who cares? You're still doing it right. So for step 3, I'm going to write, instead of my y and my x, I'm choosing to use the point 2, 5. I'm going to write it right here and write xy by them so I remember. This is 5 equals -8/3 times 2. How should I change 2? Renee? 2/1 plus b. And what's the goal right now, Emily?
To find B.
All right, I'm going to put that under step 3. Solve for b. So this is 5 equals -16/3 plus b. Let's change 16/3 to be like a mixed number. Can you guys do that in your head? Charlie?
5 1/3.
Good. So this is 5 equals -5 1/3 plus b. How do you get rid of a -5 1/3? Add it. So I'm going to add 5 1/3 to the other side, which means I get b equals 10 1/3. Emily, last step?
Y equals -8/3
Right.
plus 10 1/3.
So rewrite the equation with numbers for M and B. Do you see how this lesson is almost like combining the last 2 lessons we've done about slope and then this one? Okay. So my last step for step 4 is just rewriting it y equals -8/3 x plus 10 1/3, and that's my final answer. So first I got M,